crazy. But they didn't look crazy to me, and they were rational. They weren't excitable, and they had done their research, and I was like, I should be listening to these people, even if they're wrong. Somebody needs to listen to them. I mean, you know. And by the way, I'd worked on the Hudson River with commercial fishermen, and I'd seen so many times when the scientists were wrong and the commercial fishermen were right about what was happening in the Hudson River. One time, I'll just give you an example. The commercial fishermen came to me and said, all the goldfish are dying up in the Wallkill Creek. And I went up, they said, will you help us get to that? Because there's a new sewer plant up there that's discharging chlorine. It's hard to kill a goldfish. They're one of the most hardy species in the world. You can pour oil on a goldfish and it won't do anything. It won't hurt it. And I went up to the Department of Environmental Conservation. They said there are no goldfish in the Hudson River. Well, these were people who I'd watched them catch goldfish in the Hudson. So anyway, that was just part of the background of my, little bit of skepticism about government scientists, that they're not always right, that sometimes you have to listen to people, and that human experience is valid, and that if a woman tells you something about her child, you should listen. And so then one of these women came to my home, and she found my home in Hyannisport at a little bungalow, and her name was Sarah Bridges. She was a psychologist from Minnesota, and she found my home. She came to it, and she took out of the trunk of her car a pile of scientific studies that was 18 inches thick. She put it on my front porch, my stoop, and then she rang the bell, and then she pointed to that pile, and she said, I'm not leaving here till you read those. And as it turns out, her son, Porter Bridges, had been a perfectly healthy kid, got a battery of vaccines when he was 2, and lost the ability to speak. He lost the ability to, he lost his toilet training. He began headbanging, engaging in other stereotypical behavior like stimming, hand flapping, toe walking, and got an autism diagnosis. And the vaccine court had awarded her $20 million for acknowledging that the child had gotten autism from the vaccines. And she didn't want it to happen to other kids. And so I sat down with this pile of studies. And I'm used to reading science. I'm very comfortable reading it. I wanted to be a scientist when I was a little kid. In my life, my legal career has been about science. It's,